Oklahoma Watch files transparency lawsuit against state agency over federal relief funds. So the state got billions with a B dollars in COVID funding via the federal government, and there are many requests. And so Ted Struley, with the executive director of Oklahoma Watch, says, we're suing the state because it's the only way to get records the public is entitled to. There's $18 billion of requests and almost $2 billion of public money. It's tax money that's been paid and is now to be reinvested in the community. These are public agencies, public projects, and there's every reason in the world the public should know what is being requested. Yeah, their argument is we need to know what we're spending this on. So they filed an open records request on March 11th for applications submitted under the Federal American Rescue Plan Act. The state has received almost $18 billion in project requests for the $1.87 billion it has to disperse under the law. So way more mouths to feed than the money that came in. But, we just want to know, is it going to Swadley's? Is it going to mental health?
It's like the jail trust all over again.
Yeah, only this time it's like a much bigger number and it's at the state level.
What are you doing with this money?
Yeah, I mean, they don't want to tell you. Probably for obvious reasons. I mean, especially considering like how bad the Swadley's deal is and things like that. I mean, this is like, JV corruption, like this isn't even like good corruption, like where it's like you set up fake companies and did all this stuff. This is like literally company A is friends with the governor and is now like getting direct payments. So anyway, yeah, I imagine that is why they don't want to honor these open records requests. Because if you were doing it right, I mean, if you have a bid process and you pay people out, like that's how that works. But if you don't want to tell anyone,
I mean, you would think that the state would. I mean, maybe not because they're so damn corrupt, obviously, which is all we've talked about. But like after what happened to Oklahoma County when they tried to misappropriate federal dollars in 2020, you would think that the state would be like, people are gonna try to investigate this. People are gonna call us out. People might come shut down our fucking government. Like,
yeah. And what's frustrating to me from like a public policy standpoint is that we could do this in a way that it could really be a game changer for a lot of the big problems we have. Like, if you do a process right where you make it transparent, you give people time to put together good ideas, you maybe get a few players and not just your buddy from the golf course, like you could actually, like it is kind of a game-changing amount of money, especially for things like mental health or certain specific education projects. Like you could do some like really powerful, good stuff. But instead what happens is we fuck around, we do all this corruption shit, and then at the last minute, because this is exactly what happened in Oklahoma County, we have to create some fast and loose program where only the wealthy, powerful, and connected can apply. And, that's what we get. And so it's a deeply frustrating process to watch work itself out over and over again when it would not be that hard. Because like the ARPA money has to be spent by 2024, or it has to be allocated by 2024 and I think spent by 2026. So I mean that's 4 years from now. So I mean you would have a timeline to really come up with some cool stuff that addresses real issues. But if you spend the first 2 years self-dealing and being corrupt and all that, then you're in a rush at the end to spend it, and you end up spending it on not great things. So
just like, yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, like every single one of these elected officials on the conservative side are bought. Like the higher up you go, like the more money starts to get involved, the more money starts to go into their pockets. Like, I'm looking at you, Senator Roger Thompson. And just being like, because they're the ones who are in control of the budget, so they really get to see all things in terms of like the money. My issue has kind of come on this is just like, I'm ready to just start like putting these people on blast because there seems to be absolutely no other choice that we have. I mean, you saw the Cleanup Oklahoma had launched their deal, talking about what anti-corruption really looks like. I want to see some hard hitting at like things and just like, where's the money? Where is the money? Like that's like, and just keep repeating that over and over and over again. It's really simple, but also super effective. Another thing too is, I also want to pair that up with the conversations around like talking about like budget deficits and everything. And it's just like, put it together. It's really easy at this point to just really call out, be all like, what have you done with all of my friggin' money?
Yeah. No, I mean this is the heart of it, and the shout out to our journalists. They're doing their work and starting to uncover more and more of it.
How is this the pro business party?
I don't know. I mean, because it's like profits, right? I mean, it's like instead of funding things where there is no market unless the government creates it, like mental health treatment, addiction treatment, or well, those markets exist if you're rich. Like you can get sent to the farm and get all the treatment you want if you're rich. But like for the many people who are out there suffering from addiction and mental health that don't have vast amounts of resources, the government is who could create that market. And instead of creating that market and supporting it and, helping people get their lives together or have a future, we're shipping it off to Swadleys. We're shipping it off to, tax breaks for corporations. Like that's how they pay for it, is like doing dumb stuff like this. And it's just, to me, it's just so unnecessary. Like, I don't know. You can make Oklahoma such a better place by just spending the money on things that people actually want. And like things like mental health pull lights out. I mean, these are across party lines, across ideology. Like if state came out tomorrow and said, we're going to build, 3,000 mental health beds across the state and support them with this money, public would be thrilled. Like even Republicans would be like, that sounds like a reasonable use of tax dollars, and I know somebody who would benefit from that. And instead we're just fucking around doing this goofy shit. Thanks for watching our video. Please give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more content. If you want to engage with us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram.